Hello, my name is MikaLeone-Pettit, and welcome to my class, Magic of Baltic Amber and its use in health and well-being. I'm excited to teach this because I have been in love with amber for about at least 10 to 12 years. I think it's even been longer since I found the Baltic Amber recipes on maintaining health and well-being. And I put them aside for a little while, and I stumbled across them again in 2018 or so. And my amber chips popped back up into my life. I started playing with my amber chips, and I would meditate with them. I would just kind of rub them between my hands to feel the heat. And I can feel energy coming from them very easily. So it feels warm and it just feels soothing to me. So I meditated with them a lot. And all of a sudden it came to me that I should have them in my life regularly and work with them more. And ever since 2018, Baltic Amber has been a part of my life in some way, in many ways. And I want to share those with you. So what you will learn in this class is what is Baltic Amber, Baltic Amber lore and magic, amber healing in ancient times, amber healing in modern times, and how to create your amber healing kit. So throughout the ages, there have been many tales of natural healers, but none as mysterious, magical, and creative as Baltic Amber. It's so diverse in its healing nature, it's highly regarded as a universal remedy. With a long history in several cultures for healing, Baltic Amber has been believed to have a medicinal and therapeutic powers since time immemorial. This captivating gold of the sea is filled with potential and is a product of the sun. In life, amber glistens with secrets of wisdom, protection, and renewal. I have to say, I do love having amber around me. It's just very comforting in a way that I can feel life coming from it. And it makes me feel like no matter what, I can get through just about anything, which I find that's very a great feeling to have. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. It's very protective. It gives me a protective feeling, like I'm being watched over. So what is Baltic Amber? Baltic Amber is also referred to as normal amber or natural amber. It's pure. The name amber is translated as Gintaris in Latin, which means to protect and defend. And that's the kind of energies that I get from it when I wear it as well. Baltic Amber is found in Eastern Europe areas of Poland, Latvia, and Lithuania. And so 90% of the main deposits of Baltic Amber lie in that Sambian Peninsula on the Bay of Gdansk. The famous amber route runs through Gdansk on to Königsberg. So the streets and the shops are filled with these beautiful amber pieces inside and out. And I have some references for some great videos to give you an idea of how that looks even today. So let's go into origins. Baltic Amber is known to have come from pine and other trees of this region. in that Baltic region. But we're going to talk about the Chinese lineage. I'm going to put that in there right now because we do have some information that the Chinese have also used both amber, Baltic amber over the years. Not quite sure exactly how the amber got there, but both of them have a lineage of having medicinal healing qualities with amber. So I'm going to assume that it's going to be a similar amber with the same similar qualities. So we're going to discuss this. But even though right now we're going from the Baltic region perspective. So Baltic amber is known to have come from pine and other trees of this region. And the resin was formed over at least 45 million years ago. So we have documentation that the oldest amber that they found have dated all the way back to 320 million years ago. So it's like a witness, and it's just a living structure. That's a witness that contains a life suspension from millions of years ago. So it's a living nature just by design. There are reasons why people find amber so fascinating and fall in love with it. It's like I said, it's a living structure, and it engages gemologists, geologists, paleontologists, zoologists, botanists, chemists, geographers, archaeologists, historians, and physicians. All of these different fields of study are fascinated with amber. Amber consists of 79% carbon, 10.5% hydrogen, and 10.5% oxygen. It also includes 40 other compounds, including Satinic Acid and salts of potassium, sodium, and iron. So to keep Baltic amber pure, the International Amber Association of Gdansk, Poland, created 3 classifications. There's natural Baltic amber, there's modified Baltic amber, and there's reconstructed Baltic amber. So the reconstructed and the modify usually has more mature amber, and this amber, if it's more mature, usually is of more higher quality. So the classification has to do with the way the amber is processed. No matter the process, these functional groups do not change during the thermal treatment or pressing. They are what they are, no matter when they go through the heat and thermal process. And maybe that has to do with the fact that amber is still a living structure. Amber matures under heat and pressure. That is how amber originally formed. This is why it doesn't change the classification. Resin was subjected to heat and pressure when buried by sediment. Whether from China, the Baltic, or elsewhere, the process of amber formation is essentially the same, but the species of the tree yielding the resin may be different. So that's where it comes in that, maybe the lines have crossed and there are several trees that make up, not just pine, that makes up what we consider to be Baltic amber. The natural magnetism of amber, which manifests itself if you hold a piece of amber against fabric and then put it in proximity to other materials. It attracts other things in small pieces, so it's very magnetic. It has a natural electric charge to it, which is where the Greeks got the name for amber. It means electric in the Greek language. Amber has an electric charge and it's still alive. Its eternal metamorphosis is still incomplete, means it's still changing. It's not what it's still forming and evolving. And that makes sense for something that is so old as it is. Depending on the age, amber nuggets range from nearly white through all shades of yellow, orange, dark, almost cherry-like red. And I have pieces of all of those actually. Maybe not so much the white one, but a tan, beigey color, and then the darker colors. I believe I even have one that looks kind of black and green. There are about 100 color variations of amber. So now we're going to go into some of the amber with sediments, inclusions, and specimens. So as you can see here, it perfectly keeps this insect suspended, like in suspended animation, in total form to be studied. Insects, spiders, and their webs, annelids, which is like earthworms, and then the leeches, I believe, is also in that family, crustaceans, bacteria and amoeba, marine microfossils, wood, flowers and fruit, hair, feathers, and other small organisms have been recovered in amber dating back to 130 million years ago. Because of the small insects that has gotten trapped inside, amber has helped paleontologists to reconstruct life on Earth in its primal phases, and more than 1,000 extinct species of insects have been identified this way by amber, this resin preserving it. It's amazing. So let's go into some of the amber lore. Amber is known by many names in many different cultures. Names like sacred stone, gold of the north, Baltic gold, electron. Remember we were saying how the Greeks related it to electricity. In the early history of amber, the trade was strictly controlled by the Teutonic Knights. These knights were of a German brotherhood, actually a religious brotherhood that was watching over the Christians doing their crusading, and when they would conquer lands during the military, during the Middle Ages, even in the Baltic region. These Teutonic Knights would make sure that no one was able to have access to this amber except the elites and the royals. Any commoners found possessing amber would be immediately put to death. The common people were limited to chips that they could find, that they would be filled with sediments and sand. So some of it, actually a lot of it, definitely didn't have as much healing power in it because it had a lot more other residues and sediments that made it useless for medicinal purposes. Tiger's tears. So in China, amber is related a lot to tiger, which makes sense to me with astrologically, since I study astrology as well, because tigers and lions, I'll go through the list here, but it relates to Leo, the lion, also as well, and the sun. And the astrology, Leo also, the symbol of Leo, is also represented with the sun. So tiger's eyes, according to the legend, especially in Chinese, amber is the soul of the tiger. The Hyades, so these were the tears of Hyades. They were three sisters in Greek mythology. That was the daughter of Helios, the sun, represented by the sun again, Leo. That wept over the loss of their brother, Phaeton. So it was also related to Freya, the Norse goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. In mythology, she cried over her lost love, Adore, and her tears turned into amber and fell into the sea. And that's usually how a lot of times amber is collected, from washing up on shores in the Baltic region, in the Baltic Sea. And astrological association, so it's associated with the astrological sign of Leo, and also Aquarius, which is the polar opposite of Leo in the astrological realm in astrology. So amber is known to bring good luck and protection to those who have it nearby or wear it. And even before antibiotics or structured medicine or cures, people just magically gravitated towards amber. And I do feel something from it. I might take some people time to work with it before they start to feel it. Maybe even just meditate with it. Emotionally, it is known to help with the yin yang balance and negativity and emotional blockages. So, Lithuanian tribes used to use Baltic Amber's incense to drive away evil spirits and to do soul travel, to keep you in a good place while you did your astral travels. Midwives use it to treat clients during pregnancy, during birth, after birth. So they used it even as the child grew. So while the child was in the womb, and especially in the younger years, to make the child have good immunity and be resilient and protective, because a lot of kids didn't make it through their younger years many years ago. It was a big deal to survive to adulthood during certain times and periods in history. Newly born babies were fumigated so they could grow faster. Baby teething necklaces in some form has been used for centuries in Europe, centuries, and mothers would start to wear them while they were pregnant because it was giving them healing properties. It was going into their skin and helping with the baby. And plus it eases pain, so it would probably help the mom with pregnancy pains as well. When the baby started teething, they would be treated with amber powders, amber oils, and a teething necklace. These teething necklaces were usually for the upper class. Usually the commoners didn't have access to amber like this, especially in any kind of large amount. Newlyweds for happily ever afters and renewals of marriage vows. So yes, amber is a good renewal piece, something to give when somebody is renewing their vows, or an anniversary present for people who have been married for long periods of time. Amber would be a good gift. In China, as in Europe, amber was one of the most coveted status symbols among the higher level officials and prestigious families. According to the notes of the capital of Chang and are written in the Eastern Yin Dynasty, Han Dynasty, express Zhao Fian loved to use amber as a pillow, believing its natural fragrance would scent her body. In another record from Tang's dynasty, an amber bracelet given to a concubine as a birthday gift was worth at least 1.7 million. So amber has a history of it being a royal stone. And yes, we cross it over between a gemstone and a resin. By technical terms, it's actually a resin. And it has been treasured and prized, but is always usually been kept among the royals for a long, long time. And I think there's a major reason for that. I think they probably were deliberately trying to keep whatever healing powers that they found that it had for them out of the hands of the common person, figuring that, they had the right to control most of the amber and use it for their own benefit. So it makes sense that they would try to put someone to death for holding it or having access to it or learning what it can actually do for someone. But as we know, it still stood the test of time. And even today, people are using amber and healing in Europe just as they were doing centuries ago. Since the Paleolithic times, amber became the most legendary and most popular amulet and decorative stone. A few hundred years, a few hundred workshops and Gdansk, supply shops and galleries, and all over the world with amber jewelry. Even now, there's about 30,000 businesses, which is about 10% of their population that is involved in the amber business. There is a great video in the references about the Ambic city of Gdansk and how they collect the amber. It's actually pretty cool. I would have never thought of it that way. And it looks like they are actually fishing, high boots and all, and they go in and close to the shore, actually. They don't even have to go out that far. And they also have a way that they do it inland, where they have like a big metal pot or encasing with a lot of sand, and then somehow the water washes in. They get to shuffle the sand around and get to find the amber pieces. That way, even inland, they don't even have to be on the shore. So somehow the amber finds its way all the way inland as well. So hundreds of thousands of tons of this stuff is going out and being found on a regular basis. It's amazing. Really good video to watch. Given those going to war so that they return with spoils of victory. So that was another way that amber was used, like a good luck charm for those that were going out to fight battles. The Persian priest Matthias Pretorius recorded that in 1680, during the plague, not a single amber man in Gdansk, in Galpeta, Königsberg, or Lipa died of the disease. So that says a lot. All the amber merchants did not get sick during a major plague. So now we're going to go to one of the other lures of Baltic Amber, which is, it was called the Amber Room, the eighth wonder of the world. So back in the early 1700s, this room was constructed called the Amber Room. And it was pieces of panels. I believe it was about 18 panel pieces. And here in this picture here, I found recently, you can get a really good look of a side wall panel piece. And it leads off into another room. And then you have another piece that over here that gives a, under the legend of the Amber Room, gives a deeper picture of how it looks probably under another light setting, how it's darker and it shimmers a different way. But it was said that once you actually went into this room and the light hit the room a certain way during a certain time of the day, this room, it just lit up a certain way that it was just like some people couldn't even describe what they either feel or what the feelings that they got from being in this room. So the sun, they had certain windows where the sun would come in, the light would come in a certain way, and it was magical. So I'm going to give you a little more of the backstory of the legend of the Amber Room, because now you may have known this, that the first Amber Room disappeared and it got reconstructed. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Interesting story. So construction of the Amber Room began in 1701. The Amber Room was made of several tons of gemstones. It was originally installed in Charlottenburg Palace, home of Frederick I, the first king of Prussia. Truly an international collaboration, the room was designed by a German Baroque sculptor, Andreas Schultzer, and constructed by a Danish amber craftsman, Gottfried Wolfram. So Peter the Great, admired the room on a visit from Russia coming over to see the king in 1716. So Frederick, William I, presented it to Peter as a gift. So it was a gift to cement their alliance against Sweden in the coming war. So here's another picture of the beautiful amber room and how it probably looked back then. So after the 18th century renovations, the room covered about 180 square feet. So it glowed. So they said it was about 6 tons of amber and other semi-precious stones that was built into this room, these 18 panels. The amber panels were backed with gold leaf. The historians estimated that at the time, the room was worth about $142 million in today's, standards. Over time, the amber room was used as a private meditation chamber for Shazara Elizabeth, a gathering room for Catherine the Great, and a trophy space for amber connoisseur Alexander II. So a little more, I don't know if you've heard of this, but I thought it was a very interesting part to add in for lore for the amber. There was a curse. There is a curse that is talked about the amber room. So there's some interesting connections where some people did not make it being investigated or whatever, or having some kind of involvement around this room, especially during a certain time in history. So many people connected to the room have met an untimely end. So Rode, the museum director, and his wife died of typhus while the KGB was investigating the room. General Gusev, a Russian intelligence officer, died in a car crash after talking to a journalist about the amber room. And the amber room hunter and former German soldier George Stein in 1987 was murdered in the Bavarian forest. So there is some sayings that they believe that there is definitely some spiritual, energetic types of connections, or either there's some people maybe not wanting any investigation around what actually happened to the first room. The first room was, Amber Room was broken down right before the war began, and then it was taken away, and that was never found, basically. No one really knows what happened to it once they broke it down to get it out of the castle. The history of the new Amber Room, at least, is known for sure. The reconstruction began in 1979, and I want to make sure I pronounce this right. It's Zascosello, and was completed 25 years and $11 million later. And it was dedicated by Russian President Vladimir Putin and then German Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder. The new room marked a 300-year anniversary of St. Petersburg and a unifying ceremony that echoed the peace sentiment behind the original room. The room remains on display to the public in Zascosello, a state museum reserve, at St. Petersburg. So there is an Amber Queen room. You can see Amber room today, but it's not the original. They are still searching for the original. And actually, I think I came across a website and connected with some people that are actively searching and they're looking for help. So I believe there, you probably can Google and find Lost Amber Room, and they probably will pop up. I think they're willing to actually send you some of the amber. If they find the room, I think they said they're willing to send you a piece of the room. Baltic Amber history as medicine. So we have two history lines for Baltic Amber healing. Remember I mentioned to you before, we have the European line that we talked about in the Baltic region, but there's also a Chinese lineage of use of amber for centuries as well. And yes, it's still being used today. So first, we're going to go into the European side because as far as what I've studied and found, that is the home front for Baltic Amber. And maybe later on I'll be able to update this class with some updated findings if we find out anything specifically different about the Chinese Baltic that has been found and their use and what's happened over there. I can always update that information. So Baltic Amber was the leading medical aid for centuries and used extensively by the medical community in Europe. Hippocrates, father of medicine, described medicinal properties and methods of application of Baltic Amber that were later used by scientists until the Middle Ages. In ancient Rome, amber was used as medicine and as a protection against different diseases. So it has been long time standing. The Europeans don't even, it's just a part of their culture because it's been there in the Baltic region for so long. That's just a natural thing that they do on a regular basis over there still. I'm in touch with that region for supplies of my amber, and I know that they've never stopped using it over there. It's just they have amber shops with products with just amber in it, made out of different types of things for amber. And I've made a video that we will go into that will break down some of those things and some of those ways that they're using it. Nicholas Copernicus documented that his formulas for medicine included 22 specific ingredients, and one of them was Baltic Amber. Amber warms to the human touch because it is fossilized resin, and its unique properties are in complete alignment with the composition of the human body. Before I started working with amber and started reading up on amber, I never knew that our body required something that amber has in it. Amber works with the body's own immune system to distribute its power where the body needs it. Dr. Vyamin Konzanov of the RAS Institute of Pharmacology at Tomas Science Center says that for aging people, Satinic acid has proven to be indispensable. is capable of restoring the energy balance at the cellular level for a youthful body. He also said is proven equal or better of many commercial drugs and is significantly less expensive. I must have to say myself, with my experience of using amber on a regular basis, used mostly in jewelry prior to 2019. I was wearing it in some form as jewelry, but not all the time. After 2019, I've been using it consistently, several times a week, sometimes for days before I take a break. And I do have to say myself, yes, it is definitely a lot less expensive than using traditional medicine. And I feel very much more youthful in my body, less aches and pains overall. And yes, feel overall energetic balance has improved by adding Baltic Amber to my life. Now we're going to go into some of the Chinese ways that has come up in my research of use of Baltic Amber. Tears of a tiger. The Chinese said amber transforms from the tiger tears as it breathes its last breath. The Chinese have called amber pu, which means courage or spirit of the tiger. I think it even reminds me of a tiger, the colors and how tigers have a little bit of the brown, but the browns have like little undercurrents of gold and other flecks, and that's what it reminds me of when I look at amber, so I can see how they're related with the tiger. According to the principles of traditional Chinese medicine, amber has a sweet and neutral properties and is associated with the bladder, heart. Again, Leo is also representative of the heart chakra, or the heart, the organ. When you look in the zodiac, and they relate each sign to a specific organ in the body. Leo, which is also represented by amber, which is also represented by the cat, the lion, the tiger, also represents here. We have the heart. You have the bladder and the liver meridians too. Also too, I didn't mention this before, but amber is also related to the solar plex region. So this yellow color that you see here relates very much to that third chakra, yellow region, and the bladder is there, the liver is there. The heart's just right above it, but the heart has associations with the sun and Leo and the circulation and being a healing force. It functions to calm the spirit and to invigorate the blood. So, of course, the heart helps to circulate the blood around the body, and so you feel more invigorated by adding this to your health and wellness routine. Amber is used for a variety of ailments. As a tonic, it is used to treat anxiety, tremors, seizures, and insomnia, and to calm the mind and promote restful, dreamless sleep. It improves the flow of blood and urine and can treat conditions such as amenorrhea, which is the absence of menstruation. Amber can also be applied topically to treat sores, carbuncles, and skin ulcers. And I have found that yes, it is highly rejuvenating for the skin. I highly recommend it for any type of skin condition. And they found that rubbing it on the skin is one of the best ways to get it to heal, especially in the face area for some reason, no matter where the issue is in the body. And I think I have this in there, but one of the doctors have said that they found that to treat just about anything, using it close to the face and the head was really, really productive. So let's go through some of the ways that the Chinese has also used amber. In Asian countries, amber syrup, a mixture of Satinic acid and opium, has been used as a tranquilizer and antispasmodic. In Chinese medicine, amber oil is used for massage and excellent for aches anywhere or in or out of the body. And I do use amber and a massage oil, being a body worker, and I must say it is very effective in healing for the body, for aches and pains, and it gets rid of it pretty fast. I have blended products before with just essential oils and carriers, and they're effective. But I noticed that it has been much more effective with the amber oil added. Mainly Chinese amber is grounded to powder and swallowed down with water, or commonly with a decoction of herbs that make up a formula with the cinnamon. It is also combined into pills made with powder or extract of the other ingredients. So I don't take amber powder internally, but trust me, for some reason, I feel like I could and be okay with it and not having issues, but I haven't. Just because I just want to I can get the same benefit using it on the outside of the body. And actually, I wouldn't say that I haven't taken it internally. I have in a tincture form with the chips, the amber chips. So I have to take that back. But the powder I have not ingested. And but I can see how someone would want to use it that way. The powder is very, very fine. And I'm going to show you that in the video when we get to the video. But what I have made that I'm excited about, and I have put that recipe in the PDF for recipes, is a herbal powder. And I put this herbal powder on my skin and I rub it in. And it has, I put about 50% amber powder with herbs of like marshmallow root, powders of neem, powders of chamomile, I believe is in it, rose, myrrh powder. So I take and I blend those powders at a 50% ratio among all of those powders. And then I add that to 50% amber powder. And I rub that into my skin. And I have been doing that now for about a few months. At first, I didn't do it consistently enough, but now instead of doing it just once or twice a week, I do it about every other day. And I massage it in, and it has been amazing. My skin is extra soft. It looks even better than it did before, because I have been using amber on my skin regularly, like I said, since 2019. But I haven't, what I wasn't doing is having products that was, staying on the skin like that, because even when I use the oils, I would mix the oils with other things. But now I put the powder on it, and I put the powder on so that it can stay on my actual skin for, hours. and really soak in there and really do something instead of just rubbing it on and just rubbing it right back off. So I give the powder hours to be able to penetrate my skin and heal my skin, and I love it. I think it's great. So that's the way that I use my powder with other herbs instead of taking it internally, add it to the skin externally. Even a good honey body mask with amber, honey, other herbal powders would also be amazing treat for the body. You would probably want to do it at least once or twice a week and leave the herbs on for a while to really get a really good benefit or to see the results of using it. Well, that's the thing with natural stuff. It's better if you use it more often. You don't necessarily need to use a lot at a time, but if you use it more often, you're highly more likely to see the benefits and the results. And I can't say enough about amber. I just hope I I never have to be without it. Let's just say that. Because I also believe that it's helped my immune system. Even though I already was using essential oils, I believe the amber has taken my immune system to another level. And I feel like it's like a very protective barrier around my auric field that just helps me stay on point. And if I get off track with my healing, I feel like I meditate with it a little bit and it just puts me back on course. Sacinum is used in the treatment of palpitation, and we'll go into Sacinum soon, because basically what it really is called Satinic Acid, and I will go into that. And it's used to treat palpitations, amnesia, dreaminess, insomnia, epilepsy, etc., etc. So as you can see, multiple uses, multiple purposes, and for the families and the cultures that have known about this for hundreds of years, it's like one of those things that you don't want to be without. You always want to have it in your home herbal kit, first aid kit, wellness kit at home. You want to make sure you have that stash of amber. And that's why I'm going to show that little quick video so that you can get to see how to make your amber wellness kit. And make sure you have that around available if needed. And to just keep your immune system and keep that strong auric field for whatever may come about. Amber is used as an ingredient in tonic formulas, often along with pearl powder. Now, I've heard of pearl powder as well, even in Mexico when I was living in Mexico. And I could probably say yes. And I've looked at pearl powder in the past. I just was worried about getting a pure form of it, so I've never had the benefit of using it. If I find a trusted source, I'm definitely interested in finding out with pearl powder. But I believe the two together, I'm sure, would be a powerful force. So when I get to Mexico, I will be checking in on seeing if I can get a hold of the best pearl powder source that I can get my hands on, and mixing it with the amber and see what I get. A chi and blood tonic formula for it's chi and blood formula for lower blood lipids. So helps amp up the blood, and I can definitely see how those two together could be like awesome. Yeah, I'm excited because I think the power of the two together, it's almost like land and sea. The pearl powder comes from the ocean and it gets those sea minerals and that vibration of the ancient sea, and water itself holds so much memory just like this amber holds. So imagine how much to make a form a pearl, and form a pearl in the sea with the sand, and it rolls. And I don't remember the specifics of the process, but I know it has to do with the sand rolling over and over again for a certain amount of time and turns into this beautiful pearl. And so amber, same thing, you know, comes from this tree and ages and ages and ages and turns into this great healing thing that has been around for millions of years. And so imagine the two of those powers coming together as one. Could be, like I said, I will have to try this, and you can follow up later by the end of the year or so and see if I've experimented with this. And I should add it to this class, and I will. I'll remember to add it to this class after I do my experiments and see what comes up. You know, I'm imagining it's going to amplify and synergize and turn into a whole new vibration and turn into a whole new thing by mixing those two things together that you couldn't bring create unless you mixed it. I'm excited just thinking about it. And so here, let's talk about the secrets of Satanic Acid. This is very exciting. So Satinic acid is the key ingredient in Baltic Amber that makes it one of the most powerful substances necessary to human health. This acid is very important to your body. It is used in the Krebs cycle, which is involved in your intermediary metabolic processes. So the processes between cells and how they speak to each other and do what they need to do. Satanic acid is the dominant factor in Baltic Amber and is also one of the key substances found in the most expensive skin renewal and regeneration products. So I've found that that's the main way that satanic acid is being used today. It's being used a lot in the health industry, like we just saw, but also a lot in the beauty industry because it's very rejuvenating to the skin. And I have to say myself that I feel, and I've been an esthetician for over 20 years. I got my license in 99. So that would be what, 22 years now. I've been an esthetician, and I do have to say I have used many things over the years. I have used essential oils on a consistent basis. I was certified in aromatherapy even before I got my aesthetics license. So I've been using essential oils for even longer than I've been an esthetician. And I have noticed that even after using the amber, it's still renewed and regenerated my skin. And I've came across a lot of things in those years that I've been an esthetician, and I try a lot of things, and I'm very particular about what I use on my skin. I'm also very aware of how products work. I can use it for a few weeks and I can tell if it's really doing something for me, or if I need to switch to something else, or if I need to do something else. And my skin looks just as good as in my 20s as it does now. So I have not known a time that my skin has looked better in my adult life as it does now, and I do truly benefit it to the use of amber in my life in the last couple of years. So I know that in the States they were using it in products, and I guess it's under Satanic acid, and they might even have another scientific term, so you don't know exactly what it is. But amber in general is actually pretty cheap, but the products they're putting it in is probably more high-end, expensive products that you're going to have to pay a lot to get a hold of. And then, even then, you're wondering, they're probably, how much are they putting in? Probably just enough for you to receive results. It's probably just cheaper to create your own blends instead of looking for ones that specify and try to say that it's, has Satinic acid as its main component. Just if you want to try something like that, I would try it from the Baltic region, like I've done in the past, and make sure that it's a really good source of Satinic acid if you're just going for that part of it. A powerful antioxidant that helps to fight free radicals and disruptions of the cardiac rhythm in the heart. So again, that heart correlation. Satinic acid has been shown to stimulate neural system recovery and bolster the immune system. And it also helps to compensate for energy drain in the body and brain. And do I feel like I've always been a person without a lot of energy or high energy? Now, do I feel like I have more? Yes. I, on a cellular level, feel like it has brought more energy to my system since I have been using it. So it's also good for boosting the brain and awareness, concentration, and reflexes, and reducing stress. So overall, like I said, it's just a good health aid to have around. So Satinic acid is a multi-purpose therapeutic substance that has been used in Europe for centuries as a natural antibiotic and general curative medicine. So yeah, you can go in and just get Satinic acid, and yes, I get bottles of, well, not of Satinic acid, I get bottles of the actual oil, amber oil that has Satinic acid in it. I'm not even sure if you can even get Satinic acid in a drugstore or something here. In Europe, I don't think it would be a problem. So I get my Satinic acid by using it in my skincare products. And like I said, I do have the amber chips. And I will talk about the tincture in the video. Satinic acid was not part of the original or resin of the amber. It developed as the amber matured and weathered. So amber has to mature to build up this healing Satinic acid that we're talking about. It's not naturally there when the resin oozes out of the tree and turns into, a hard sap. It's mostly concentrated near the surface too of the amber chips, the amber pieces. That's why even rubbing it against the skin or wearing it like mothers do for their babies, and just wearing it as an amber piece and having it next to your skin and warm next to your skin, it goes and sinks in and heals, and that electrical charge of the amber connects with the electrical charge of your body. And that's why you may feel like you have more energy when you use amber or wear it in some shape or form, even if you don't use it in skincare. Satinic acid is now produced commercially, and it is used in the food and beverage industry, which I did not know until I did my research on this, as an acidity regulator. It's sold as a food additive in the dietary supplement. So that's how you probably can find it in Europe. Its affects each person differently. I feel it has an immediate and amazing effect on me, and I hope I never, ever, like I said, have to be without it. It's been calling to me for years, and now I'm finally happy that I paid attention and heeded the call and have been using it. And I think it's going to help protect against a lot of different things. And as we know, we just have to deal with what came up in the last year and a half, and building your immunity system and keeping your immunity strong is one of the best things you can do to protect yourself against any invaders of your body. Keep your body strong, keep your immunity strong, and amber can be one of those layers of protection to help keep you fortified and ready for anything and any challenges that may come about. Amber contains 3 to 8% Satinic acid, which has an amazing effect on the body. When the amber is used regularly, it attracts positive feelings and experiences. And I can vouch for that as well. Again, yes, I feel it's been very, very positive for my life in general, and I just like having it around. So I would suggest grabbing a few pieces to start with, and get a feel for it, and get to know your amber, and let it talk to you, and then go from there on what you feel you need to do with it. So further research at the University of Hamburg, Germany confirms the safe and positive effects of succinic acid in cellular metabolism. So again, they've done research over the years in many places, of course, especially in Europe where most of it's found, and they have amazing results and testimonials and just word of mouth over the years on how well amber has been for the lives of so many people. And it's so reasonably priced. I'm sure that's probably the way that a lot of people stay healthy in countries where they're not able to get access to as much healthy whole foods and vegetables and fresh vegetables and things like that, things that are going to keep your immune system strong. So we're going to go now to the video to create your amber healing kit. So custom built to your needs. And so we're going to watch this and see if you get any ideas of what you think you want to do to create your kit at home. And just think about also as well for your family and loved ones and how you can help to aid their healing as well. Maybe you might want to start with a piece of jewelry for someone, bracelet, and they might feel better when they wear it. And then you can go from there with a cream or a powder or something like that. And think of ways of how you might use it with your kid. Maybe get bracelets. It doesn't have to be a small baby or infant for teething. It can be just a young child. You can give them a bracelet, and I'm sure they would love having the warm effects and the feelings of the amber. They're probably naturally going to be attracted to it. It has a magnetic type of feel. So here goes. We're going to go and check out the video here.
Let's talk about the many ways to add Baltic Amber to your life. I made a PDF with recipes and tips that you can find at the link provided. I love being around amber. It calls to me. I am very sensitive to its energies. And we're going to go through some of the ways I use amber here. Here are the jewelry. Amber warms on the skin and releases succinic acid naturally for pain relief. Amber is also recommended for teething babies and overall health. So you can wear pieces with overall healing. I also have here my raw pieces that have been unpolished, and I use these mostly for meditation and in my healing sessions. We have the powder here. It's very fine and it has no smell. Pretty much absorbs into the skin. It's excellent to have on hand for crafting other products and to use alone. I use amber powder on my skin at least every other day. It feels amazing and it's generating to my skin, and my skin actually looks better than I've ever known it to be actually since I've been using amber, which is about 2 years now on a regular basis. I also made up a herbal powder with amber in it, and it also has other herbs like marshmallow, chamomile, rose, neem. I have that recipe as well in the PDF. Here you have amber oil. It's distilled and it has a very strong odor to it. So I usually use it with a carrier oil. Even with essential oils to tone down the smell. And I use it a lot for spot treating on my skin for dry spots or irritations. Now we're going to go into the tincture here. And this tincture I have here is actually one made with tequila. But you can use rum, you can use vodka. A lot of people use vodka or Everclear to do their tinctures. You add a couple of teaspoons of the amber chips to your bottle, fill it with alcohol, let it sit for at least about 10 days. Shake approximately a couple of times every day if you can. Put it in a dark place in the cabinet and let it sit. And then you take about 9 to 10 drops for about 10 days. Then you can take an alternate relaxation and then start up another 10-day cycle. And that recipe also will be in the PDF. We also can use, and this is another way also as well that I make amber oil. I use a lot of this amber powder here, and I add it into a big jar, and I pour my favorite oils on top. And I do also with this at least a couple of weeks. I will do this in the new moon, and then around the full moon, then I will take the oil off of it. And then I also can still use this amber for my skin. Massage it into my skin before a shower or a bath, and rinse off. We also have here amber chips. And these amber chips can be used in tea form. So just like how you have here in the tincture, you can also make a tea out of the amber chips and put them aside, let them dry out in the sun, and then reuse them for another cup of tea. So I hope these are very helpful for you, and I will leave recipes, and I would love to hear your feedback on your favorite blends.
So there you have it. I have many ways for you to make up your amber kit for healing. And I hope you find it to be just as beneficial for you as I have found amber to be for me. I would suggest experimenting with different recipes. Let your amber speak to you and see what it says. And it might just give you a way of how it wants to be worked with. I would meditate. What maybe, like I said, start off with if you already have amber jewelry. Usually you can find someone close by selling amber somewhere. Check them at a physical shop. You might be able to find something with some amber, and then just sit with it, see how it feels, see what it tells you, put it in the sun, maybe even let it sleep out overnight on the ground, and then meditate with it and see what it says. Check in with it and go from there on how it wants you to work with it to heal yourself and to help with others. I think it's a really good time in our history to talk about this because it's one of those hidden gems that a lot of people do not know about. And every time when I did this class and I did my research, I got excited about amber all over again. I started falling in love with it all over again when I learned about just the many ways and the fascination that so many fields have in amber. And the reasons why they have those feelings is because I've had my own personal experience with amber, and I think each person just what they have their own experience with it, that they'll feel the same way in some shape or form. They will want it in their lives. So I hope this helps you. I hope this adds another layer of protection, health, wealth. It relates to good luck. It relates to prosperity. Remember the royals, was desperately trying to keep it out of the hands of the commoners. So maybe maybe it does magnetize wealth and prosperity and health and immunity and all those great things that keeps you preserved, and healthy as long as you're here on this planet. So thank you for being here, and being interested in this class and holding space for this. And if share this information with others, it's a very, very cost-effective method of keeping up your immunity in any situation. The powder is easy to travel with, and you can take anywhere and have this protection with you for multiple different reasons. So you can find the PDFs listed, and as you can see here, I have references on where I got my information and where you can find those videos that are going to be fascinating to you as well. And I think you're going to start to feel the same way that I do. And here's some more references here, just in case you're taking a screenshot. But you will also be able to see those guys. You'll have your own recipes and stuff like that as well. Thank you so much. I totally enjoyed sharing my love of Baltic Amber with you, and I look forward to answering your questions and the Q&A. And feel free to contact me. I got my websites here and my emails. And I am so glad that I was able to help share this information with you. And I hope it helps you in some way or form in your life. Thank you.